Hey mi gente, y sean bienvenidos a esto que llaman Fantasiciro y como pueden ver pues por ahí un video más de Genshin Impact. Y antes de comenzar con el video les quiero recordar que si no se han suscrito que se suscriban y activen la campanita para que YouTube les avise cuando suba un nuevo video y que si nada botón me gusta me ayudarían demasiado, además de que si quieren un saludo de mi parte lo único que tienen que hacer es comentar este video o cualquiera de mis videos y en el próximo video los saludaré, ¿ok? Y resulta que ya estamos en la misión principal y hace un ratico llegado a este punto y lo que pasa es que apareció una cinemática del juego, entonces quiero que la vean.
Look up there! That's the Jade Chamber! This is bad. Paimon's supposed to be your guide, but Paimon doesn't know where the way up to the Jade Chamber is. Well, since we want to go to the Jade Chamber, heading to its location on the map is the sensible thing to do. Let's look around. There has to be a way up there nearby.
Ok, ya después de haber visto eso, ya pues estamos cerca y vamos a mirar cómo subir a ese punto. Y necesito dice aquí. Lo bueno fue que traje, bueno, que tengo el elemento Nemo. No, hubiera sido un problema.
Look! There's some sort of mechanism thingy. Since this is the right place, it must have something to do with the Jade Chamber.
Tal vez es el camino a la cámara de Jade. Parece una especie de trampa. Pues el camino.
Yes, this must be the way.
Pues bueno. A ver. Y... Uf, siempre es bastante poder. Porque esto solamente está activado hasta que...
It only takes us up to here. Aw, if that wind current was stronger, we'd be able to reach the top in one go.
Primero que vamos a Liyue y le preguntemos a la Geoarmada.
Huh? Why?
No debería haber ningún secreto para subir, de lo contrario.
Oh, Paimon gets it. If it was a secret, Ganyu wouldn't have let us try to find it ourselves, right? Alright, let's follow your plan. Then we can... Oh, hang on a moment. Look down there. Looks like we've gotten close to the Guizhong Ballista. Paimon has a new idea.
No me va a gustar la idea de Paimon, la
The
verdad.
Jade Chamber using the ballista.
Y creo que se ve bien, ¿no? Quedó muy pequeña la cámara así. Creo que se ve bien. No, gracias. Aún quiero vivir. Paimon, ¿tanto me odias? No, gracias. Aún quiero vivir.
Oh, right. This method does seem a bit unsafe.
Recuerdo que la balista tenía un catalejo.
Oh, that's right. Now that you mention it, we could use the Guizhong Ballista to see if there's another way up nearby.
Pues sí, se podría decir que sí. Primero, sí se ve bien. Creo que se ve bien. Corre sofisticadito. Miércoles es eso. A los alrededores de la balista. Ah, ya sé. Es por allí. Sí, véala allí. Lo que me preguntan es lo que me preocupa, es lo que me pregunto. Lo que me preocupa en este momento es eso. La Jade armada. Sí, la Jade armada.
Halt! Who trespasses on these hallowed grounds?
Solo veníamos de paso. Territorio sacado son solo las afueras de la cordillera Tian.
Exactly. What are you talking about? We're invited guests. What makes you think you can treat us like this? No. Wait. Maybe this was Ningguang's plan all along. She pretended to invite us to the Jade Chamber, but set up a Millilith ambush here to arrest us.
No creo que sea eso. No le hemos explicado que fue. No les hemos explicado que fue.
Now Paimon's mad. You over there. This is a trick, isn't it? How shameless.
What? We're just on guard duty. What do you mean, shameless?
What nonsense! Seize these suspicious intruders at once!
Well, here they come. Line them up and knock them down.
¿Por qué me ponen estas, Paimon? La verdad es que se vuelve fastidioso. Y que no me podría preocupar más. Ahora que tiro hacia abajo, vuelve con toda la sangre. Y ahora no entiendo.
Windblade!
No, no te vayas abajo. Ven, ven. Ah, por mí, ven.
To
Ajá.
arms! Attack!
Windblade!
Ah. Y el tornado mejor. Ah. No me digas que vuelven con toda la sangre, por favor, no.
Tactical retreat!
Oh, por ahí hay otro Geoculus.
Who goes there?
Sí, señores.
Take the target alive!
Se vuelven fastidiosos.
Attack!
A ver ese ataque, venga.
Cool it! Take this!
Ay, hombre.
Take the target alive!
Mal por ti, pero van a perder todos. Es fácil acabar con ellos, la verdad.
Blasted! To arms!
Más.
Attack!
Freeze! Oh, so sorry.
Oh, so sorry. Y acabados. Que fue culpa de ellos, que me quisieron atacar, no mía.
Stop! What's all this about?
Lady Kuching, these two strange people suddenly appeared. They seem to have designs on the Guizhong ballista.
Who are you calling strange?
Solo estaba buscando cómo llegar a la cámara de Jade.
You want to go to the Jade Chamber?
Pues sí, se nos
Who are you?
invitaron.
We're invited guests here to look for the Liyue Qixing. Who are you?
Una de las 7.
Well, as it happens,
¿Sí ve?
I am one of the Liyue Qixing.
Oh,
I'm Kuching, the Yuheng of the Qixing. I know of you, traveler. You're Ningguang's guests, yes? Didn't expect to meet you here in the mountains.
Sí, estaba buscando cómo subir para allá.
Paimon didn't think we'd meet some super rich big shot out here in the middle of nowhere either.
The Guizhong ballista in Tianheng Pass has long been in disrepair. and yet it was fixed in a single night. I came here to investigate that occurrence. These Millilith are just here to guard the scene, not to arrest anyone.
So this was all a misunderstanding?
No piensas
I
mucho.
never would have thought.
No piensas mucho, ¿cierto, Paimon?
Anyway, for a mortal to be able to repair an Adepti mechanism is quite the mystery, even to the Chising.
That was...
Paimon, no compliques más las cosas, Paimon. Solo fue un ajuste por aquí, otro ajuste por allá.
Huh? Oh, right. So, Lady Yuhong, might you have any idea why Lady Tianchen invited us to go to the Jade Chamber?
Just call me Kuching. I'd say that Ningguang's purpose is to request that the savior of Mondstadt take a more neutral stance. Or at least, to not wholly side with the Adepti.
We're not taking sides. We spoke with the Adepti. They want to protect Liyue as well.
When you say protect, you're referring to their sanctimonious arrogance, aren't you?
Pero qué agresividad la suya también,
You
mija.
are mortals, and thus under their protection. There was no way they would have regarded you as someone with the ability to assassinate a god. Naturally,
hecho, creo
they
que
would also
yo
regard
puedo.
Ningguang's
Bueno, el
locking down the
personaje.
area, questioning the citizenry, and pursuit of the assassin to be pointless work. Perhaps they even wonder if there might be a cover-up. I'll say it like it is. They're underestimating us.
Well, you've got a point there. Still, this is the first time Paimon's seen a person from Liyue who doesn't respect the gods or the Adepti.
Should I respect the shallow sense of time and condescension to mortals that has caused them to delay in moving against us, Chising?
Pero qué agresividad.
I shouldn't speak of them this way. This skepticism is mine alone, and Ningguang does not share it. Either way, I will admit that the actions of the Adepti this time were quite restrained. Rex Lapis's
no sé
death is
nada.
indeed an extraordinary circumstance. But to think that they would call for a council of Adepti rather than come down here directly. How surprisingly civilized of them.
Entonces existe la posibilidad de hablar cordialmente con ellos. Luego también querría negociar con ellos. Entonces existe la
Well, for
posibilidad.
Ningguang, she would talk anything and everything out if she could. But I doubt we can do that here. The time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Chising don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for
Qué
Liyue?
agresividad.
Another super bold statement.
I'll stop here. Honestly, I hadn't intended to say so much. But you're a good listener, traveler. You should both be off to the Jade Chamber. Don't be late now. Ningguang's schedule is packed to the gills all the way till next year.
Sí, pero díganos cómo
The cream of
subimos.
Liyue's mercantile crop all see ascending to the Jade Chamber is the greatest honor. Each brings rich gifts as they visit, all to curry a little favor with Ningguang.
Pues a mí no me importa eso. Paimon, eso no es lo importante. Paimon, estamos hablando en serio. Paimon, eso no es lo importante.
But wait, that's right. Greeting gifts are a staple of Liyue's culture. We need to get one. Not to curry favor or anything, just to respect Liyue's culture.
Qué entusiasmada.
All right. You can decide on your greeting gift yourselves. Let me tell you how to get to the
Eso.
Jade Chamber
Díganos cómo
first.
llegar por allá que no
You
sabemos.
didn't actually have to come to Mount Tianheng. Go back to Liyue Harbor. Find a guide at the Yuehai Pavilion, and... Well then. May we meet again, traveler.
Well, that Yuhong may not respect the gods, but Paimon thinks she's a pretty cool person.
Yo también tengo una buena impresión de ella. Estoy de acuerdo con lo que dice. Yo también tengo una buena impresión.
So, what should we give to Ningguang when we see her?
Otra vez de vuelta al obsequio.
Oh, right! Paimon dreamed of an amazing snack last night. Sugar-frosted slime!
Bien
Paimon has a
confitado.
feeling that it would be perfect for a super rich person like Ningguang. Why don't we go with that for a gift?
Tiene la receta y cómo hacemos esa cosa que soñé.
With a certain boom shakalaka, of
Un
course.
poco de boom, chacalaca.
Let's go gather ingredients. Time waits for no one, and neither will our riches.
No sé cómo se hace esa receta. Ay, hombre, Paimon, Paimon. ¿Qué será lo que quiere ella para hacer esa risita? Porque no tengo ni la menor idea, la verdad. Ah, qué fastidio.
Ooh, look at that slime. It looks crystal clear and very delicious. That's the one.
Sacar con un slime para acabar de ajustar. Y lo que me falta, mi poca sangre no me ayuda para nada. No. Que sea nivel 61 es un problema. Pues
Disappear.
no están volando. Ya me está empezando a dar un poco de dificultad todo esto. Claro, el estar mojado y tener la electricidad cerca. Aparte de estarme quedado sin sangre. Es que se vuelve fastidioso. No, no jodas. Es el otro ingrediente que requiere.
Huh? Is it just Paimon? Or is there a sweet fragrance in the air? Huh? Did you hear that?
Suena como si alguien estuviera pidiendo ayuda. Suena como si alguien estuviera cantando. Suena como si alguien estuviera
It
pidiendo
seems
ayuda.
like it came from those ruins over there.
Ah,
Uh-oh. It looks like the treasure hoarders have locked someone inside.
falta ladrones de tesoros.
You're open. Yeah. You're open. Yeah. You're open. Twin blade. Disappear.
Sí, eso, eso.
You're open.
A la cegada me pegaron. Ah, es que una flor súper dulce. Espera que me encontré una flor dulce, flor super dulce, flor dulce. Y ahora sí, ayudamos a este tipejo.
Thank you for your help, kind travelers. If you hadn't come to my aid, I surely would have rotted in this cell. Those treasure hoarders. When their mood was good, they'd rearrange those pots of sweet flowers. When they were in a bad mood, they'd rearrange my face.
Aw, it was nothing. No need to thank us all at once or anything.
Y ya cogí lo que había ahí.
I understand. Don't worry. I will compensate you both.
De verdad, no hace falta.
Don't say that. I only escaped this predicament because of you. I'm Meng Dan, a supplier for Mingxing Jewelry in Liyue Harbor. I often walk around these mountains in search of antiques. I never expected that those treasure hoarders would have their eyes on the same ruins that I had. Before I knew it, they'd caught and imprisoned me. Is there anything that you lack? Antiques, treasure, various knickknacks, you name it. Well, as long as you want what I have to offer, of course.
Tus buenas intenciones son suficientes.
Wait a moment. Actually, we are looking for something.
Oh? And what might that be?
Do you have a box that can store presents? We'd like a pretty one. The kind that you can use to store snacks.
Of course we do. How can one sell antiques without gift boxes? At Mingxing Jewelry, we have the best gift wrapping service in the 7 nations.
Bueno,
Now
es
just give me a
interesante.
moment and I'll let the boss know. You can go see her whenever you require that box.
Great! Paimon sugar frosted slime now comes in a beautiful package.
Es la receta más loca que puede haber, me imagino. Ya la tienda de... Primero lo primero. Sí. Y primero lo primero, o sea, primero nos esperamos un poco porque nos dieron una paliza muy grande, no tenemos casi comida. Bueno, además que tengo para preparar, pero no he preparado casi comida. Entonces, más de que ya, como subimos de nivel el mundo, bueno, un poco difícil todo. Y bueno, después de esto, mañana voy a tratar de conseguir esos objetos y esas cosas para subir de nivel a los personajes o más, a ver si podemos progresar un poco más todo, porque al menos necesito subir de nivel unas 3 o 4 veces más. Bueno, no, con una vez más que suban de nivel todos me ayudaría a nivelar un poco, pero tengo que mejorar las armas también, entre otras cosas.
Told us that we could get a nice and shiny box from your store.
Uncle Meng already told me about it. Thank you both for saving him.
No fue nada.
Many of the best goods in our store were found by Uncle Meng. If anything were to happen to him, it would be impossible for us to continue doing business. Here, this container is itself an antique, with at least 140 years of
140
history.
años.
It's already been cleaned. Will it do?
Yep. It's great. Hang on a moment. Can we borrow one other thing?
Sure. Please help yourselves. As long as it's on our shelves.
Traveler, this clay pot looks really awesome. If we use an antique as our mixing bowl, we should be able to make a great snack. It's done! The one and only sugar-frosted slime! Carefully now. Into the box it goes and dust it over with a bit more powdered sugar.
Oh, yes. You might want to use these 2 freshly picked flowers as decorations, too.
Woohoo! It looks beautiful!
Slime confitado. Por alguna razón no tengo la conciencia tranquila.
Great! Now that we've put all that we've got into this box, let's go to the Jade Chamber to see Ningguang.
Si por alguna razón creo que esto va a salir jodido.
Jewelry's out of stock, but we have some new items.
Yo sé que tengo que ir a donde. Yo que me monto aquí y me tiro así, llegaría más rápido. Creo pues, estoy totalmente seguro. Pero creo que sí, llegaría más rápido si me monto así y me tiro. Oh, no me diga que eso es un elevador, pues un ascensor. Algo así pues. Uyun.
According to Kuching, this is what we should say. Excuse me, do you sell the moon here?
Yes. How many would you like?
It's not convenient to speak of numbers here.
Ah, well said. Please, use this to ascend to the chamber. Yes, speaking of which, are you two the guests that Lady Ningguang has arranged to meet with
Como
today?
nosotros.
Yep.
And yet the code they used was not the one for guests, but for the Yuheng. What's going on here?
Pregúntele al terrenal.
I've been waiting for you, returnee from Joyun Karst.
It's Ningguang. Since this is our first meeting, we've prepared a gift. I hope you like it.
Oh, for me. You
No
have my
creo que
thanks.
sea algo
It seems
bueno
that I
del
have made things
obsequio, pero
difficult for you,
bueno.
considering that you were supposed to be my
Es
guest.
que más va a hacer.
Oh no, it's nothing.
La cámara de Jade es magnífica. Es la primera vez que vengo a un lugar tan alto. La cámara de Jade es magnífica.
I'm glad you like it too. This palace floats in the skies, higher than the peak of any mountain. From this vantage point, one may survey all of Liyue. I
Eso
have been
veo.
gathering the funds necessary to build it from the time I began learning the merchant's craft. And since becoming the Tianquan, I have spared no effort in hiring the best craftsmen to constantly extend it. At first, it was but the size of one room. Now, it is large enough to blot out the moon in the skies above Liyue. One day, I believe it will overshadow all 7 nations.
Ambiciosa es el equilibrio celestial.
Not many from outside Liyue earn the right to ascend to the Jade Chamber. But I have been in correspondence with the acting Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius, who spoke highly of you.
Ah, madre, tienen
As such, I have been
constante
putting eyes
conversación,
and
¿o qué?
ears out ever since you reached Liyue.
What?
And I finally got wind of your movements when you were on the way to Wangshu Inn.
Wait, was Vergoldet one of your people?
Just Vergoldet? No. Everyone at Wangshu Inn is one of ours.
Ah, madre. Hace poco me encontré con el equilibrio terrenal.
At the Guizhang Ballista, yes?
Yes.
You weren't peeking on us from the skies the whole time, were you?
I fear that peeking would have been a little difficult from this altitude. Our eyes and ears are more than sufficient. You two are very interesting people, after all. It would be natural to take an interest.
Genshin dijo que las 7 estrellas no le decían el mal a Red Lápiz.
Well, I wouldn't expect you to trust us, considering that you have had far more interactions with the Adepti. The reason I invited you here was to clear up some misunderstandings.
Bueno, acláralos. Al infinito y más allá. Me gustaría explorar esto un rato, pero no sé.
I I believe that you've heard of the Archon War.
Me suena. Tengo una idea general.
Many gods used to walk this earth, and many long wars were fought between them that did not abate until 2,000 years ago. Much blood was shed, and many lives were lost. In the end, only 7 victors remained standing in Tevat. They built cities and nations on the corpses of the vanquished, and thus began the era of the 7. You can see Goyun Stone Forest from here, I trust. It is no natural rock formation. Those are giant spears of rock hurled by Rex Lapis during the war. Beneath the spears lie those cast down by Rex Lapis in those days, gods that failed to seize the title of Archon. Not only is it true that gods may die, but so too has the membership of the 7 changed over the last 2 millennia. Rex Lapis's passing is an unimaginable disaster for Liyue, but the Order of the 7 will not collapse simply because of that. Another Lord of Geo will arise sooner or later. Yet, how are we to forget Rex Lapis? When that time comes, the relationship between the people of Liyue and the gods and Adepti will surely be different from
Me lo
before.
imagino.
Even in a new era, the Liyue Qixing remain Rex Lapis's former subjects. Do you really think us capable of having played a part in his demise? Of lacking the foresight to see the certain repercussions?
Pero entonces, ¿por qué resguardan la exuvia?
That day at Yujing Terrace, it was also very sudden. Even I was caught completely off guard. You were there, you no doubt saw. But our enemy has long lain hidden within the harbor. If we do not act against them now, they will surely gain the upper hand. Hiding the Exuvia was a necessary maneuver to take the initiative back, to play the spider while our foes scurry about.
Who's this enemy you're talking about?
¿A quién crees? Yo ya
What do
tengo una
you think,
imaginación.
traveler?
Es él, tiene que ser él. Tiene que ser él.
What are you two talking about?
Well answered.
Ya sabemos a quién. A los
The scenery
Fatui.
out here is fine indeed, but the wind is a little strong. Our preparations to receive guests within are complete. So please, this way.
¿Y quién más podría ser? Los Fatui. No hay nadie más que sean ellos. Pero ver.
I need a more physically demanding job.
Para la cámara de Jade. Iba a decir a la Jade de cámara. Pero no entrar a la cámara de Jade. Y aún nos quedan por ahí 20 minutos, más o menos 18 minutos.
Wowee! What a huge hall! Paimon's never seen such a fancy place before.
Veo brillar algo por allá, por acá no. Solamente por ahí va. Cumbre. Aunque la tierra se resquebraje y las montañas se derrumben, el recuerdo se mantiene firme, ya que es la piedra angular sobre la que la cordillera Tiangen se yergue contra maquinaciones y interesante. Pergaminos acomodados. Una pila de pergaminos bien acomodada. Cada pliego de papel tan delicado como las alas de un insecto. Quizás sean obras de caligrafía. Cuaderno extraño. El nuevo pedido de costumbres de Liyue y la bienvenida del arconte solicitado hace 2 días ha sido enviado a la cámara de Jade. Le pedimos de la manera más atenta que Ningguang confirme la recepción. Párrafo segundo, palabra 39. Párrafo primero, palabra 16. Párrafo 10º, palabra 19. Párrafo segundo, palabra 1. Párrafo quinto, palabra. Párrafo octavo, palabra 24. Párrafo séptimo, palabra 17. La firma ha sido borrada y es imposible de leer. ¿Algo más? No, ya. Ninguna.
Be at ease, you two. Make yourselves at home if you wish.
Can we really?
I have invited you two here as friends. And when friends come over to play, our enjoyment comes first.
Eso de ahí es.
Ooh, isn't this that legendary wall?
Why, you've kept your ear to the ground, I see.
That's because even the storytellers are talking about it. Everyone's after a piece of paper from that wall. It's super famous.
That's because that wall records Leo's secrets. Merchants have always been attracted to secrets. But the secrets of the mercantile world are of no interest to you, are they, traveler? You're rather special, really, and I think you're quite aware of that.
Es que
If
te dijera.
possible, I'd like to have your trust. But if you were to choose the more trustworthy person between myself and Kuching,
Entre tú, que crees en los dioses y ella, la prefiero a ella, que es escéptica. Entre tú, que crees de la.
you'd pick Kuching? Nah, I had a feeling. I originally thought her a bit too hard-headed. With someone of her character on the Qixing, I've had some extra messes to clean up behind the scenes. But after she said those words, the time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue? Well, I must say that quite a few of my doubts have been dispelled. I won't deny that Rex Lapis's passing seems advantageous to us. But, for Liyue's sake, we cannot allow ourselves to be shackled by rumors of our usurpation of power.
Supongo que los Fatui están detrás de estos rumores.
Indeed. It seems that you understood what I meant to say from the very beginning.
Un poquito nomás.
I called for the gag order and for the Exuvia to be hidden to temporarily stabilize the situation, and also to prevent something similar to the incident in Mondstadt. With Rex Lapis's death, the Fatui have busied themselves with many clandestine actions beyond their diplomatic remit. As the Tianquan, one responsible for Liyue, I cannot be too concerned with appearances when opposing them. Allowing the rite of parting to take place was also meant to buy some time for us to take control of Liyue's administration.
It's exactly as Zhongli said. The Qixing only provided the venue for their rite so they could use us for their own ends. Wait, that's right. Speaking of ends, could I say one other thing?
Ya que irá a
Of
añadir.
course.
Paimon's heard that anyone who sends a greeting gift gets a little something in return. So, does that include us?
Paimon, ¿puedes dejar de pensar en eso por un momento?
It's all right. I like direct people. Well,
Ella sí
we
no
have
lo
made
es.
quite a bit of trouble for you recently. How about this? You can pick any one object here as you please, and you may take it with you.
Yay! Paimon was just waiting for you to say that. Let's see, what should we get?
Yo sé que lo que usted quiere.
One of the sheets on that wall.
¿Mm?
Don't look at Paimon like that. One of these sheets of paper will sell for crazy prices, even if it's only as large as Paimon's fingernail. Just imagine how much more a whole untorn sheet would sell for. Let's grab one, the biggest one.
Un pedazo de nieve. Okay.
Huh? Well, that was an easy search. The biggest sheet is right up there in the most obvious spot. Let's go with that one. La 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 la. Let's see what's written on it. Huh? There's a place marked with a circle on here. Oh, could it be treasure? Whatever it is, it better make us filthy rich. Let's see what's written over here. sigil of permission, something, something, Fatui, research, copy. Huh? Aw, that doesn't sound like treasure at all. This piece of paper shows that a Qixing spy discovered traces of classified Fatui research on the sigil of permission. Oh, Ningguang did say that the Fatui have been up to all kinds of mischief in the shadows of Liyue. Spreading rumors, wanting to get their hands on the Archon's body and whatnot. But research on the sigil of permission? Paimon wonders what they're up to. Speaking of which, there's also some connection between you and the sigil of permission. Seems there's still more for us to find out.
Veo muchas cualidades juntas aquí. Claramente Ning está tratando de llevarnos allí. Con muchas cualidades.
Oh, you really think so? Well, should we not go then?
Tengo otra idea.
Oh, so you're saying that it's precisely because we can't completely trust Ningguang that we should confirm the truth of what she says for ourselves.
No me refería a eso, pero bueno.
That's way out of Paimon's league. Paimon thinks she's been nothing but good to us. Anyway, we'll see if you're onto something. Before we look for Zhongli at Dihua Marsh, let's go to the place marked out on these papers and see if the Fatui really are up to no good there.
Es bueno. Subí a rango de aventura. El lugar marcado en el papel de la nieve. Por acá. Sí, después de esto vamos a recoger las recompensas del rango de aventura. Creo que ya tengo que subirlo al nivel 5. Y es algo que me preocupa un poco porque si así estamos en el nivel 4, subiéndolo al nivel 5, los golpes que me darán serán más fuertes y ya me han quitado, bueno, ya me quitan bastante sangre, la verdad, cuando me pongo a luchar contra los enemigos, entonces me preocupa un poco eso. Ay, no jodas.
There really were Fatui at the location written down on this piece of paper. And they look really mad at us too.
Have a load of this.
No me agrada.
Detoxifying heat. You need to hurry up. This one's well done. Fuel's clogged.
Ay, este weón. ¿De dónde apareció este otro?
Windblade!
Let's move. Have a load of this.
Windblade!
Counterattack.
Windblade! Freeze!
Y lo que me preocupa es que se vengan los otros.
Windblade!
Investigaciones de los Fatui. Que va a venir, venga después.
The loneliness
Y la idea es que no me dan los otros porque maluco. Si me descubren los otros, tengo que pelear con los otros también y no para ni tiempo. Bueno, dice aquí esto es investigaciones de los Fatui.
There
Uy,
are so
perdón,
many
el ojo.
talismans here. And some stacks of blank paper too.
Parece que copiaron en ellos
What are they
el
for?
patrón de los talismanes. Quizás están tratando de reproducir uno.
Paimon's seen this pattern before. But where? Oh, Paimon knows! It looks just like the sigil of permission the child gave you.
Yes.
But how did a relic of the Adepti end up in the hands of someone like Child? Suspicious.
No es solo una reliquia.
Oh, that's right. Cloud Retainer said that when the Lord of Geo created the Sigil of Permission, it wasn't to be used as some old relic. Talismans like that were once used in the Archon War to channel divine powers. Maybe the Fatui are copying the Sigil of Permission in hopes of achieving a similar effect. Being able to channel divine power in battle? Whew, that sounds pretty dangerous.
No hay duda de que los Fatui están tramando algo. Este documento podría ser parte de un plan mucho más grande. Este documento podría ser para...
Plot thickens. We'll need to keep an eye on Child, that's for sure. Alright, that's enough sticking around here. We gotta go meet up with Zhongli soon. The last stop on our rite of parting preparations tour is Dihua Marsh. Let's go! Paimon hates being late.
Bueno, vamos a ir allá. Y después de eso creo que terminaríamos con todo por hoy. Madre, siempre está un poquito lejos. Y después de esto voy a ir a subir de nivel. Bueno, a recibir mi rango, mejora de rango y de su madre, güey. Ahora no quiero pelear con usted. Y por todos lados. Por todos lados hay enemigos y ahora no hay tiempo para pelear con ellos.
Right on time. I myself only arrived moments ago. Did you enjoy your visit to the Jade Chamber?
It was so big and pretty and expensive. Paimon's never seen such a fancy schmancy place before.
Indeed. It's second to none in all of Liyue. Then you met with Ningguang, I trust? What did you talk about with her?
She's super rich and so generous. Paimon thinks she's very friendly.
La amabilidad es el arma de las personas de negocios.
Yeah, his take on Ningguang is quite different from Paimon's. He thinks that even the tactless Yuheng is more trustworthy than her.
Oh, so you also met with Keqing then? What did she have to say?
She said the time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue?
No respect for the divine.
Claro, creo que está en lo cierto.
Indeed, contrary to the ever-bold Keqing, Ningguang is more of a businesswoman at heart, though they are both members of the Qixing. Although she's friendly, there's no way of clearly discerning her true intentions.
Ningguang es muy linda. ¿Veis que es muy linda? Es muy lista. Ningguang es muy ambiciosa. Ningguang es muy lista.
Yes, she has only relied on herself to rise to her current position. No ordinary person could ever achieve that. It's said that she's the one behind the constant expansion of the Jade Chamber. It's the second most important thing to her. Even if she ever gave up the position of Tianquan, she would never give up the Jade Chamber.
The Jade Chamber is only second. What's the most important thing to her then?
Why, Mora, of course.
El dinero, eso tiene sentido. ¿Por qué no me sorprende? Eso tiene sentido.
All Ningguang talked about was the Fatui this and the Fatui that. She said that after Rex Lapis was murdered, the Fatui have constantly been trying to sink their fingers into Liyue, and that they aren't to be trusted.
That is how the Fatui have always been. It doesn't surprise me in the least.
Y ahora están tratando de reproducir el sello del permiso.
No matter what they may be planning, you must be careful when dealing with the Fatui.
Nunca la
Always be
bajaría.
on your guard.
So, is there anything we need to get for the rite of parting in Diwa Marsh?
Yes, as a matter of fact, there is. Today, we'll be gathering wild glaze lilies.
Glaze lilies? But why did we come all the way out here? Doesn't the garden in Eugene Terrace have some? Even Chingsa Village has glaze lilies. Oh, right! Paimon remembers that Madame Ping is always tending to flowers. Maybe we could ask her.
No, those lilies have all been gardened by people. They won't do it all. Dihua Marsh used to be full of glaze lilies. It is a sort of joyful flower that listens to human song.
Interesante.
Before the Archon War, Dihua Marsh was all dry land and fertile soil. But the war caused landslides, and the land was flooded, turning it into the marsh you see now. Nearly all the glaze lilies were wiped out. Of course, there are some kinds of flowers that have been preserved and gardened by people in the city. But very few people know that glaze lilies may still be found in the wild. Wild glaze lilies have the strongest fragrance. If we want to follow the true tradition of the rite of parting, we must grind up the wild lilies and place the powder in a censer of everlasting incense.
Ah, madre,
But
todavía
I'll
tengo
need
que
your
falta por hacer
assistance in
entonces.
gathering these flowers.
Necesitas que la recojan, necesitas que cante. Necesitas que cante.
That's correct.
Ah, no, sí, claro.
Your singing will surely bring out the strongest fragrance from the flowers.
So how good is your singing?
Bueno, más o menos. Soy todo un profesional. Bueno, más o
Really?
menos.
Why doesn't Paimon believe you?
We'll only know once he starts singing.
Espero que cante al menos bonito. Pero bueno, nada, la vamos a dar prueba hasta acá. Lo voy a dar esta. Pues sí, lo haremos prueba hasta acá. Y ya mañana continuaremos con otro video de Genshin Impact y con esta misión, ¿ok? Les envío a todos un abrazo súper fuerte y nos vemos después. Bye, mi gente.
Don't